Good morning, guys, and welcome to this session. This is a special session. We are in the middle of the semester. We basically, in this classes, both of them, this is just to both sections of My Astronomy Online, My Astronomy 120. We are in the middle of the semester. We have done one midterm. We still have two more. One of them is starting tomorrow, actually, and the third one is when December, so we still have time for that. The point I want to make is the purpose of the meeting is to basically tackle these issues about the immediate stuff that is due now and how important it is. Obviously, the midterms, they have a lot of weight. The other one also is due this weekend, namely the project, because the project also carries with it a lot of weight. So I want to make sure that you guys are also aware of that and that you're working towards it to do the 15th. That means this Saturday. Today is Wednesday. We still have tomorrow, the day after, and so on and so forth. I know some of you did actually submit those projects, but just this is basically a reminder about that too, in addition to other assignments. So that's basically the purpose of this meeting. So what's going on in terms of midterms? The good news is that it's still 100% within reach, meaning one of these midterms will be dropped. So if the first midterm was not the best that you did, you still have time for this midterm. The review is actually due tonight. And those who did not do the review, they should have received a message from me today reminding them that it's due tonight. So please take care of that. It's very, very urgent. Okay. The purpose of the review, again, is to prepare you for the midterm and also to get credit for participation. If you choose not to do the midterm, you're going to lose on two things. First of all, this is a graded assignment. You will get full credit for just starting it. It doesn't matter how far you go. It doesn't matter how many correct answers you have. You do it, you get full credit. So that's the one thing. So you're missing on those points. And then the other thing also, you're not well ready for this midterm. This is a little bigger in terms of content. There's more questions than the first midterm. So it needed from you as much time as possible to prepare for it, and hopefully you're ready for this midterm. This midterm is going to open tomorrow morning, and it's going to be available until Monday. There will be no extension. I know some of you earlier in the first midterm had some problems at the end, and I think I don't know if it's this class or another. I think it's another class where we ended up basically extending another day because Canvas was not available on the last day when the exam was for several hours. It was down. So because of that, I ended up extending the assignment to another day. However, this time around, there will be no extensions. I'm hoping that you guys, the first chance you have, you start on your midterm, meaning tomorrow in the morning you're a student, you are in classes. So the fact that you're working and have other things does not give you an excuse for not doing your assignments. Granted, this is an online class and there is some flexibility, and that's where the flexibility comes in a sense that uh, it's not for example on a given time on a given day where you're supposed to do it. You have all of Thursday tomorrow. Okay. So plan for it anytime tomorrow. Okay. Be focused, have your coffee, have your food, have your favorite drink, whatever it is, soda, whatever you like, snack, whatever it is, and take your midterm. Okay. It's supposed to be an hour and a half. Spend an hour and a half on it and be done with it. Okay. Be done with this midterm. If you cannot make it tomorrow for one reason or the other, you should really do everything possible for you to schedule it tomorrow. Okay. If it cannot be done on Thursday, then your window opens on, again, it's the entire night. So you can, if you are a night person, you can work from 11 to 2 o'clock in the morning. Whatever time is convenient for you, you have flexibility in that. Okay. If you cannot do it tomorrow, you have Friday. So plan on doing it Thursday, not Friday. Plan on taking your midterm Thursday. Okay. If for whatever reason, outside of basically your capabilities, you cannot make it Thursday, then the last chance I would say is Friday. Please do not plan on Saturday, albeit it's open for you on Saturday. Please do not plan on it on Sunday, albeit it's available for you on Sunday. Please do not plan on Monday. That is terrible planning if you think that Monday is an option for you. Monday is the last day, and it's there as a backup of a backup of a backup if in case everything goes wrong for you. Okay? You have an emergency, okay? I don't know, your cat needed operation and you need to take it to the doctor, to the vet on Thursday. And they tell you that, okay, the cat will be released at 10 o'clock in the morning, for example, on Friday. Okay, you're stressed on Thursday, you can't do it. You're stressed on Friday, you can't do it. Then as a backup plan, you have Saturday, okay? If your cat has an emergency on Friday, you already have taken the midterm on Thursday. If your cat had an emergency on the on Thursday Saturday, you already have done this midterm plenty of time. There is no worry about it. It's behind you. So all of the other emergencies that happen on Saturday or on Sunday, or worse than that on Monday, have already happened. The internet went down, your electricity went down, whatever went down in your surrounding, an emergency with one of your beloved ones or your cat, your animal, or whatever it is, or you can't find your login or something, has already been resolved. Okay? I mean, it's you already did your midterm. All of these things happen after. Okay? So please take care of this. It's very important. Granted, if you did very well in midterm one, all of what I have said could be somehow probably excused. Not really, but because you already have this midterm is going to be canceled for you. Please don't plan on that either. I know some of you, for example, okay, I had 100% in the first midterm, or I had a 97% in the first midterm. So I'm gonna skip this midterm. You don't know what the third midterm look like. It could be that's the one that you really want to sacrifice, not any of the first two. Okay. So whether you did extremely well in the first midterm or you didn't do so well in the first midterm, this is an utmost important midterm. This is not the midterm to play with. This is not the midterm to gauge things with. You did extremely well. You have to plan on doing even better or at least the same as the first midterm to give you flexibility down the road. If you didn't do so well in the first midterm, this is far more incentive for you to make sure you're on top of this midterm. Okay. So this is the midterm that you guys have to take the most serious amongst everything else. Okay. Amongst everything else. Comes the third midterm, some of you will decide, you know what? I don't need it. I already have 100% in the first two midterms. What is it going to do for me? Even if I score another 100%, it's going to be ignored anyway. I have 97 and 97. This one probably will be a 98 or a 99. I'm talking about the third midterm, okay? So you may have to make some decisions but not today. Not the second midterm. The second midterm, you plan for it on Thursday. And you do everything you can to do it on Thursday. If everything else fails, then you can do it on a Friday. The other days are just a backup of a backup of a backup, just in case, okay? Please don't come on Monday or Tuesday and send me messages. Oh, I just basically all of a sudden now I realized that I missed the midterm because I was planning to do it on Monday at 11 p.m. or 10:30 p.m. And all of a sudden I couldn't find my login or I couldn't find my computer or the internet was down or the electricity was down or I had to go to take my dog to the emergency room or something like that, there will be no excuses. So that's really my point in here. I know I sent messages before, and I'm hoping that you guys take this one seriously. I'm not really trying to scare anybody. This is actually a well within reach midterm. I'm confident that those who prepared it well, they will sail through it as if nothing. Okay. So that's really my thinking about this one. Again, I understand the stresses of the semester in general, especially taking online classes sometimes can be kind of unmonitored. You're not being basically urge to do things. And the purpose of this meeting is for you guys to understand that, to albeit we have an online class also, to see some sort of a motivation and some sort of a reminder of how important it is to stay on task. Okay, that's one thing. Hopefully, it's clear as far as the assignment. This one. Okay. Again, the timing is the same timing as the other midterms. The other midterm that is in terms of load. Granted, there are more units this time around, more questions. So hopefully you guys will have will sail through it. Okay. The other important assignment that we have is actually a and please stick around toward the end because I have an important announcement for some of you who missed some of the assignments. Okay. So the other item, let me make sure I am on task here. Yeah, the other item that is actually important is the project. Okay, you had the choices between either the lunar observation, which was a full 4 week cycle. Okay, every week you had to go at least once at night or in the morning, depending on the phase of the moon, and document your observations and make notes and move on to the next week and so on and so forth for 4 weeks. Okay. And you were supposed to record your observations. And again, today is actually by Saturday. And I know some of you already have submitted their projects. The others who did not, this is a reminder that this Saturday is when that thing is due. Okay. Now you did your midterm. It's done. It's behind you. Now by Saturday you must submit your project. Okay. And that's one thing. So please do it one, not both of them. Okay. So you did the lunar observation. Some of you, after they missed the second observation or the first observation or the third observation or the fourth observation, they opted to do the photography. But because the photography would require only one night, basically spending extended period of time, document the observations more than the that, because they're looking at the details of what they're looking in terms of the moon, the many features that are available on the moon. Granted, you picked it up on a convenient gibbous phase, not a crescent where you don't see nothing, gibbous phase, and then you document the different features, where they are, how bright they are, how they look like compared to what you know, compared to the chart that is given to you. And you document also what the terminator line is, and then you take a picture, okay, with your device. It doesn't matter how good it is or how bad it is. Usually, and again, hopefully you guys follow the recommendations, done it by removing the flash, number one, and number two is extending the exposure to collect the, no, I'm sorry, to probably shorten the exposure because it's a gibbous phase. Anyway, hopefully you have done the picture. I'm not looking for quality, like a high quality picture. So that's not the one. The worst thing you do for this project is to go on Google or go and search for a picture and pick that up and say, okay, this is the picture I have. Those who have iPhone 16 and iPhone 17, especially iPhone 17, one of you guys already shared the picture with me, and I honestly thought for a moment that the picture was kind of from a search engine of some sort. Quality of the iPhone 17 nowadays, especially with it detects the lighting and the exposure and all of these things and makes the setup for you. The picture was immaculate, was perfect. Okay, so yeah, so if you can take a picture that is great, that's fine. If not, uh, whatever exposure you have, but it must be yours. It cannot be somebody else. It cannot be from the web somewhere. Okay, because I'm going to contrast your picture with the data available that you record on that day. Let's say, for example, you told me it's a Thursday, whatever, whatever, okay? And I see the picture from there, and I can see it, for example, it has a position of the angle of the moon and also how much lit part for it. So they have to match, in other words, with the real data. If you take a picture and the moon, and you're telling me you took it on the, I don't know, let's say the 27th of October or something, and it's supposed to have let's say, for example, a 59% lit part of the moon, and you go and see it's a 99% lit of the moon. It's almost a full moon. So it's not correct. It doesn't match. Do you see my point? So please make sure you're honestly putting your honest effort in there and going you yourself actually in doing that observation, not relying on somebody else's picture. If you didn't take it, you didn't take it. You just say I couldn't take it because either I don't have the correct device for it, or I basically my picture, my phone was not with me or was not charged, whatever it is, okay. If you didn't do it, you didn't do it. It's better to, in science, not finding a result is as important as finding a result, okay? As long as you're honest with yourself and not basically making up stuff. That's part of this class of what we're doing. I know all of you probably, or the vast majority of you, are not geared towards science. Science is not your major, but what you're taking from this class is also the scientific method. And that is how to do research and how to do stuff and how science is supposed to be recording data and observations and accuracy and things like that. So if you didn't do the photography, don't include the picture, period. And state as so. Okay, you may lose some points, better than losing the entire thing. Okay, if you did the picture and it didn't come out right at all, include it. That's actually good. Include the picture. Include the picture. Okay. So if your photography was not, in your opinion, the best picture there is, actually it is good because of the fact that you honestly went there and you took a picture of the moon, but it didn't come out right. As long as you document the date and everything else and everything matches, okay? And it should not be a problem. Should not be a problem. So please take care of this project. The project have a tremendous weight on your grade also. They have a 10% weight. And they will take your grade from an A to a B if in case you don't do the project, or from a B to a C, or from a C to a failing class. So you don't want that, okay? You want to include your project because they're 10% of your grade and it's important, okay? So hopefully you guys are taking care of that, okay? So those are two important items so far that are coming, and hopefully you guys are on top of them. Should you have a problem, please don't hesitate to send me messages. I always encourage you really to communicate with me, and I'm glad some of you are. I'm glad a lot of you actually are from both sections. Okay, they are sending messages, inquiring about this and that. For those I did not hear from, especially those that they send messages to and don't reply to me, I'm really worried. Please let me know, how can we make this work? How can we basically, we need to talk together and see where things are at. And if there is room for making up for the missing assignments, let's do that. Let's make sure we do that. Which brings me to the last point in here. And the last point has to do with the missed assignments. Okay, here is the thing that I have for you guys, okay? And this is open to everybody, not just who missed assignments, okay? Okay, those things that have been graded have been graded. There is nothing we can do about them. So if you see, for example, you received the zero on a specific assignment because you didn't submit it, or you received the deducted points for an assignment that you submitted, but it has stuff, or it was late and it was graded for being late and so on and so forth. Now, here is the point that I'm trying to do, okay, for you guys. I will not be grading anything, including the projects, by the way, until next weekend. So not on the 15th, which is this Saturday. Add to it 2 more weeks. So that puts it on the 23rd, just before the Thanksgiving break, basically, okay? So you have room until then to any missing assignment. You don't see yourself receiving a grade for it, okay? Including the projects, they will not be graded until then. It's a grace period. Please go and submit them. You will not even lose points for being late. So if assignment was due, homework assignment, and this is geared specifically toward homework assignments and discussion sessions that you have in these classes. If you see it without grade, meaning you didn't receive a zero in that class, or you did not receive a grade, okay, of some sort, okay? Because you did not submit, for example, this discussion, you're receiving a zero, or you received a 3 out of 5, or you received a 5 out of 5, or this assignment that is supposed to be 20 points, you get let's say, for example, 17 points, or you get 5 points, or you got 0 points in it. If you didn't have that, if that shows empty and graded, okay, go ahead and submit it. Okay, go ahead and submit it. Please do so to the best of your abilities. It's better to get 10 out of 20 than to get 0 out of 20. It's better to get 20 out of 20 than to get 0 out of 20 in any given assignment out there. So please go through those assignments, okay? Go through those assignments and sift through them. Some of you have missed more than others, a lot actually. So please go through the assignments and submit them and get credit, which means that the project, if you're not 100% satisfied with it, you still actually have until the 22nd. So there is an extension. I'm going to follow up this meeting with a message that hopefully everybody will go through about this specific item. Not as much as the first two items, but as specifically as this item, that there is an extension, hopefully for people to catch up. The reason why they're saying that is because this is an online class, and you have other things going on. You have another class, for example, where you have a quizzes, you're taking it in person, you have quizzes, you have assignments, you have homework, and the teacher is, you meet him or her once or twice a week, and they're reminding you and they're telling you, and you see them while going to class or coming from class and things like that. Or you have also work and your bosses want you to do things. Your family also have expectations. They have something to worry about. One of them probably has a medical issue or whatever health issue, whatever other personal issue going on. And you yourself probably also could be sometimes under you're feeling very good. You decide, you know what? I know I have some online class and I vaguely remember I have some assignment that is due this weekend, but you know what? This weekend, I'm gonna go on a to the beach, for example, or go enjoy myself or something like that. Or sometimes you're so much under stress that you see what, and I'm gonna give up everything, close the windows, close the door, and I'm gonna sit down and close myself. So these online classes usually are the first one to go, the first ones to suffer from any thing going on, whether socially, emotionally, or other things, because again, you don't have that reminder that is the face on. Granted, you're receiving messages from me, you see them. The first one you see, the second one starts to go on top of the third. So by the time you have the fourth or fifth message, you know what, you feel like, okay, I have missed so much. What is this what's this? What am I going to make up out of this last one in here because I missed so many of them? So I understand this. Sometimes this can happen for some of you. Some of you are actually far more organized in a sense, and I have seen it actually in your classes too, that some of you are already to the last unit that opened, okay? Because last yesterday, was it the 10th, or 2 days ago, the 10th, all of the weeks have opened up. I mean, including all the way to the last midterm. Okay, so some of you actually went ahead and did all of the units, did all the discussions, and they couldn't just get into the some of the assignments because the third midterm or the discussion for the third midterm or stuff related to that, it's still blocked because of the timing. Some of you are actually very, very progressive. So I understand that because you're focused on whatever you need to do. Some others are still basically they miss stuff from the second week or the third week, and they're now basically feeling like they are behind. The good news is it's really not that case at all. It's not that desperate at all. The first midterm could be canceled completely just by doing the second midterm and the third midterm. That one is not going to even count, and that has tremendous weight over your grade. If you, let's say, for example, your grade right now is sitting at 12%, okay, or even 5%, okay, because you did some or you missed some. Let's take it to worst case scenario. You are at 0%. You didn't do nothing, okay? And tomorrow, when midterm two opens, you take that midterm. You will see yourself going from 0% all the way to 40, 45%, probably more, because the weight of that midterm is high. You could go from a 0% all the way to 69% because you did extremely well in there. from an F, solid F, an indisputable F, something that 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 you think that you cannot recover from, to a place where you just, with a little bit of more assignments that are due now, you find yourself in a B grade. So that you know, your average around 83% or something. So the situation is not as desperate as you may think. There is room, and a lot of room, for recovery. Okay, so that's the point. That's what I'm trying to say in here. Go through the things that were not graded so far. Hopefully, you take care of this midterm first. No matter where you are in this class, even if you are at a 0%, okay? And there are 2 or 3 of you in this classes who are at that situation, so that you know. This is not like an odd thing. So you're not the only one, okay? Go ahead and take the midterm, hopefully tomorrow, worst case scenario, by Friday, okay? If you think you have to do it by Saturday, do it by Saturday. If you think you absolutely have to do it by Sunday, especially you, because you didn't do all of the units leading to this midterm, go and do all of the units, or as much as you can. Take this midterm, score at least 60 or 70 in it, and you will see your grade jump to within reach. Okay. Then take care of all of this missed assignments. Get anything but a 0 in them. Okay. Anything but a 0 is better. Okay. Probably you're gonna get full grades in a lot of them. Okay. Some of them will be dropped again. There are policies all over the place for the kind of assignments. Participation grades, they have two, I think, assignments to be dropped anyway. So some of those things that you missed from way behind, they don't count. Okay. They have no effects whatsoever because they're going to be dropped. And so anything you do from now on will have far more weight than you think. So there is hope, and there is a lot of hope, actually. This is not a kind of a 50-50 chance. Actually, there is far more than a 50 chance of even making the class with a grade that you probably would be surprised. Okay? So my point is, we are in the middle of the semester. It is still within reach to get a good grade in it. The only thing that will prevent you from doing so is not to do anything about it. And that's really the thing that might happen. You still have, we still have this week, this coming week. This week is almost over, okay? Next week, and then we have Thanksgiving break, and then the last 2 or 3 weeks of the semester. So you can do it. It's doable, okay? Uh, anyway, so this is basically the idea that I wanted to share with you. So there are 3 items basically: the midterm, the project. It's only one project, so it's not both of them, and also the other assignments. Okay, that needs to be taken care of. And what I mean by that, homework assignments, quizzes, and discussion items. Okay, make sure you have all of those, the ones that were not graded, to do them and submit them, and hopefully you will receive a grade for it. My cat is screaming behind me, so right now he wants to come in and hear. So I hope to hear from you guys, especially those who sent messages to. And I know I scheduled some meetings. Some what happened, some others for one reason or the other did not. So please do send me another request for a meeting so that we can schedule it. If we schedule it and you don't show up, I usually stay at least 15, 20 minutes, half an hour with the Zoom open. If you don't show up, then I close the Zoom and I send you a reminder that you can still make the meeting if you want to some other time whenever it's convenient for you. Okay? Well, I'm going to post this recording, so if you're watching this one recorded, and a lot of you will, it should be available. Today is Wednesday, November 12th. It should be available sometime in the afternoon today. Thank you.